Hello, little witchlings and princelings, and welcome to your weekly Coven Summoning. My name is Ilsa.
And my name is Stacy.
And we're Caffeine and Conjuring,
a fantasy bookish podcast where we will discuss some of our favorite fantasy reads.
So in our last episode, we were discussing The Assassin in the Desert, and that was novella number 3 of The Assassin's Blade, and I think both of our favorites so far.
That's gonna change.
So far.
Yeah. Yes.
So up until that point, up until the point of today, that was our favorite. It was much better than the second novella, which we're just putting as a distant memory right now. It didn't happen.
Nope. I had to slog through that one, so.
Yeah, and today we're discussing The Assassin and the Underworld, which apparently is one of our new favorite novellas.
I have a feeling it is going to stay my favorite out of these 5 books.
Well, at this point, you know what happens in the last one.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was really on edge this entire novella because I thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, and like I said, I was right there with you because I couldn't remember if it happened in this one or the next one. So I was just like, fuck, when does it happen?
Yeah. I was just stress, nerves. I was just every little thing that mentioned Sam was not with Selena or action was happening around Sam. I was like, oh my God, this is it. So I'm happy that at the end of this novella, he was still breathing.
For now.
I don't want to read the last book. It just never happened.
Oh, if only that was the saddest death of the series.
Shit. It better not be Fleetfoot. God damn it.
I thought I spoiled this for you already. Because of the dog, and both of us have kind of triggers with pet death. And
yes.
Spoiler warning, so if you don't want to hear it, go away for a minute. Fleetfoot lives through the entire series.
Okay.
Nothing happens to the little precious baby.
I'm the type that I need to Google, does the dog die in whatever? I need to know because I cannot handle.
No, I can't handle pet death at all.
No.
Old Yeller fucked me up as a child.
Yep.
My cousin got me to watch it. It's oh, it's such a good movie. And I had so much trauma from that movie. I was 4 years old. And I spent the next week having nightmares about my dogs getting shot in the face.
Oh my God. Yeah, we don't need that stress.
No. So.
We need to know ASAP. Does the dog die?
So after that little spoiler, going forward for the episode, if you haven't already, please make sure you read Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and the first 4 novellas of The Assassin's Blade, so you don't have any spoilers. Because we will be talking about anything and everything from these books, because our minds are all over the place, so we can't just focus on the story at hand.
Way to call us out. It's fine. If you're still here listening to us, then that means you're just as crazy brain on every single wavelength. I don't see?
Yeah, I'm proud to be a space case.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was called that a few times.
Yep, same.
Stacy Spacey.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
See, my name, you can't rhyme with stuff like that. So I never had those kinds of names. I had pretty awful names, but that's a whole other can of trauma worms.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh yeah, what is this podcast about?
So, chapter 1 of The Assassin and the Underworld. Selena Sardathian is back at Rifthold Keep with her letter from the Mute Master in hand. She breezes past Wesley, one of the other assassins, who tells her, Arabin's busy, come back later. She walks right into his office, and he gestures for her to sit. She hands him the letter and takes a seat while he reads it. He makes some crack about her not being as tan as he expected, and then out of the blue, apologizes for beating her.
Ugh.
Now, I see this mentioned multiple times, like, through TikToks and stuff, but, like, Arabin, like, you never know if he's, like, father figure, lover, or worst enemy, I think were the three.
Yeah.
And he really does go back and forth between those roles through the series. Even in just this book.
Yeah.
Like,
this novella alone, you see a lot of different versions of
yeah.
him, I think.
So he claims he's been praying for forgiveness and that he presents her with an apology gift. And it's a brooch. He has another gift for her, and it's a contract to assassinate Benzo Donoval, a big shot businessman from Melisande. If you haven't realized, we're not great at pronunciations. I've given up fact checking if I'm pronouncing things right because I end up forgetting anyways. So bear with me.
And then, like, even if we do get the right pronunciation, we'll still call it whatever it is. Yeah. Sesame seed.
Oh no.
Like, I wouldn't be able to tell you what the actual word was. It's just a sesame.
Sesame. The healing place. Sesame something.
Wouldn't be able to tell you.
Donoval's coming to Ardalan with Leafer Bardengale to try and convince the king to fucking Sarah in these names. To convince the king to build a road connecting Ardalan, Melisande, and Fenharrow, a move that would make Melisande seriously rich. Arabin's framing his hit as a favor to Selena because Donoval's planning a meeting in Rifthold to set up a slave trade agreement. He's also carrying documents with the name of the anti-slavery folks in Melisande, which he'll use to blackmail them. So Arabin insists Leifer's against slavery, which is why she hired him to take out Donoval and get those documents. Selena's orders? Wait for Donoval's meeting, kill him and his conspirator, and grab the documents. Arabin apologizes again, and Selena just heads to her room. Out in the hallway, she runs into Sam, who asks her what had happened over the summer. Selena's a little hesitant to talk about it, and then Lysandra, a courtesan who grew up with Selena, shows up talking about her upcoming bidding. So basically, an auction for her virginity before she becomes a full-fledged sex worker. Selena's jealous of Lysandra's easy relationship with Sam. He's friendly with courtesans because his own mother was one. Selena and Lysandra get into it, and Selena's worried that Sam and Lysandra are more than just friends. That name I do know, because that name comes up again in the later books that I've heard the audios for.
Oh, gotcha. Well, goddamn.
Yeah.
Because I hated her. Yep.
I forgot just how awful she was in this book.
Yeah, she's pretty bad. I don't know so much as bad as just, like, annoying.
Like, she's what, 16? 17? She's like Selena's age, right?
Yeah, okay, that's a little more fitting. Because
and she's been groomed to be, like, hoity-toity arm candy.
Yeah. Yeah, and to be fair, like, Selena is, like, ticking me off pretty good in this book as well, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So selfish. But we can get more into that at the end. So chapter 2, Arabin's been showering Selena with apology gifts, which she's definitely enjoying, even though she's not even close to forgiving him. She's been hitting up all the best salons, getting her hair, eyebrows, and nails done, and she's noticed a lot of Melisandres around town. So that scene, like, it brought me right back to the Selena after she won the being like the king's champion, how she was like spending all the money on all the just splurging on herself. Like, that just brought me right back to that. Like, she did not change much in that aspect.
No. She still likes her pretty expensive things.
Yes. It's fair.
And
fair.
Same.
Yeah. After her pampering sessions, which seem to work because she tells Arobynn she'll take the Donoval contract. The next day, she and Arobynn go for a fitting for a new suit, but this isn't just any suit. It's made by a Melisandre, and those guys are known for tinkering. It's thick, designed to prevent injury, and packed with hidden knives and daggers that pop out with spring-loaded mechanisms. Arobynn gives it to Selena as yet another gift. And he's even having one made for himself and Sam. But he does specify that Sam has to pay for his.
And I can't remember, was it mentioned in this chapter or a chapter later on about the material
Probably
that
this
it was
chapter?
made of? Because it has spider silk.
Oh, no, that's what she adds to it.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Because,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because after Arobynn leaves, Selena gives whoever it is, the inventor of the suits, her square of spider silk that she got from Exandria.
Right.
From the merchant.
Yeah.
And she asks him to incorporate it into one of the suits right over the heart. On her way out, she bumps into Sam, who gives her grief about accepting Arobynn's gifts and forgiving him. But Selena insists that she hasn't forgiven him. But Sam's still furious that she's even entertaining Arobynn's apologies. See, Sam's smart. He's like, why accept all the gifts? Like, you know, he's just trying to pay you off.
It's like, your debts are paid, you can make money, no problem.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
Your own shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He reveals then that he told Arobynn the only way that he'd forgive him was if Arobynn never hurt Selena again. And that was like a slap to the face for Selena. Because she's like sick to her stomach because she's letting Arobynn buy her all this stuff, all these gifts, when all that Sam asked for was her safety. That was another part that I was just like, ugh, about Selena.
Question for you. I know you know that Sam...
Yeah.
gets unalived. Do you know how or by who?
But I have my suspicions.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure.
Yeah, as I was reading this one, I was like, I can't remember if she said she knows, like, how
I think it's kind of hinted around to in either Throne of Glass or Crown of Midnight when Selena talks about it with Kale, I think. Or when she's reminiscing about it. But I don't quote me on it. You'll have to go back and listen to the other episodes.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it said for sure. I know that, like, it's talked, like, his death is talked about a lot, but I couldn't remember if it was brought up, like,
I know that it was brought up, like, that it was a specific house that it happened in, I think, because she talks about going back there, I think, for revenge or something of the sort. It's fuzzy. It's hazy. I'm not sure. But yeah. So back to the chapter. She heads back to the keep, and Arobynn tells her that Donoval will be at the theater that night. So they all go. Selena, Arobynn, Sam, and, of course, Lysandra. And Selena's practically burning with jealousy over Lysandra's presence. Like, she's not happy. I wonder who she would pick. If it came down to it, would she rather spend an evening at the theater with Lysandra or with Kaltain? From what we know from the last 3 books.
Okay, I was going to say, do you want me to answer that now or what'll come later?
No.
Actually, you know what? Funny enough, I think that now or later, she would pick either Like, they're kind of on the same level.
I kind of figured. They're giving me the same sort of vibes. But yeah. Chapter 3.
So at the theater, Arabin points out Donovan and Leifer.
I think Leifer because,
Leifer.
like, that, yeah, anyways.
Leifer in their box, along with a bunch of other business types. From Arabin's private box, Selena has a bird's eye view of the whole place. Right before the curtain goes up, Selena tells Sam he looks so handsome. And the lights dim and the curtain rises. Sam brushes her shoulder and whispers that she looks beautiful. The music from the show just transfixes Selena. Oh, God, the gift. I'm jumping ahead here, but the gift. Ugh, my heart.
I know.
So the dancing's good, but the music is something else entirely, bringing her to tears. And Lysandra makes fun of her for crying, but Sam just tells her to shut it. Shut it.
I love it. I love it.
Back at the keep, Arabin's thrown a party for Lysandra, her madame, and some other people, but Selena skips the festivities and heads straight to the piano, trying to recapture the magic of the music. Sam finds her there and asks her why she's not out scouting Donovan. She tells him that some things are more important than killing. He then admits that Arabin beat him to a pulp as well, but his real punishment was having to watch Arabin hurt Selena. She asks him why, and Sam says she should know. Yes, you should fucking know, you dumb bitch. Like, you're my girl in the future, but goddamn, your common sense is lacking.
Very much. I feel, I don't know, weird that, like, I've been complimenting her intelligence in Throne of Glass. Because reading this book is the complete opposite.
So yeah, Sam says she should know, especially after Skulls Bay. She then grills him about his relationship with Lysandra and tries to provoke him by hinting that something happened between her and Ilias in the Red Desert. Sam's clearly hurt, and Selena immediately regrets bringing up Ilias. They finally admit they missed each other, and Sam agrees to help her with Donovan.
Why is she hurting our baby boy? Why? Oh my god. Was this the chapter that she was dancing and someone was there with lovely blue eyes and a grumpy guard? Was this a chapter or was it another chapter? Yeah, that was really spaced out because I was trying to process the words in my head. Was this a chapter where she was dancing? Or is there another chapter somewhere where there's a dance? Because at some point, she dances with somebody that has really nice blue eyes and has a grumpy guard. And I can't remember if it's this chapter.
I think it has to be later, because I don't think she dances here.
Okay. Well, we don't need to put all that in there until we get to the chapter. Because I was just like, who is it? Chapter 4. Sam and Selena do some recon on Donovan's house, trying to find the private study where he'll probably have his meeting. They notice one of his guards seems to have a bit of a drinking problem. Convenient. During their scouting mission, they both confess that nothing happened with either Ilias or Lysandra. They wander through the streets as the Harvest Moon festivals get underway. Back at the keep, Selena takes a bath and finds some sheet music and a note from Sam. It's the music from the theater. And she's really touched by the gesture. Yeah, you better be. because that was a gift from the heart.
Yeah.
So she gets ready for Donoval's big Harvest Moon party, which she attends with Arabin and Sam, and the party is just so extravagant. And Arabin introduces Selena and Sam to Leifer, passing them off as his niece and ward. Selena and Sam spot where Donoval is sitting with a group of courtesans, and Selena tells Sam not to follow her and heads straight for him. I think this might be into it. This next chapter.
So, chapter 5, Selena approaches Donoval and introduces herself as Diana Bracken, niece of the fake merchant Eric Bracken. She turns on the charm, flirting with Donoval and asking if she can visit him on the day he's supposed to meet his contact. Donoval, completely oblivious, mentions he has dinner plans, inadvertently revealing the meeting time. Before heading back to Sam, she makes a fake offer to have her carriage pick him up for a trip to the theater after dinner. She then tells Sam she has the intel. She knows when Donoval's meeting his accomplice. Selena joins the throngs of young people still partying late into the night. She dances with a young nobleman who arrives with his entourage. Sam, playing the overprotective friend, cuts in, claiming the guy was targeting her because she's had too much to drink. She brushes Sam off and stays at the party, dancing until she's exhausted, and then retreats to her apartment to watch the
I wonder
city
who that
awaken.
was. Because she specifies he has really nice blue eyes. And the grumpy guard.
Are Kale's eyes blue?
What? No, they're like
Are you talking about Kale?
No, Dorian. Hold
I don't
on.
think it's
Let me
Dorian.
find, what was it, chapter 5?
Maybe it was
I
Dorian?
think it was. I think it was. I think he was like masked or something. Hold on. Hold on. Let me, if I can find it. Chapter 5, right?
Yes.
Okay. The masked strangers swaggered down the steps, one of them keeping close to the dark-haired youth. That one had a sword, she noticed, and from his tensed shoulders, she could tell he wasn't entirely pleased to be there. But the lips of the ringleader parted in a grin as he stalked into the crowd. Gods above, even with the mask obscuring half of his features, he was handsome. She danced as she watched him, and as if he had somehow sensed her all this time, their eyes met from across the room. She gave him a smile, then deliberately turned back toward the singers, her dancing a little more careful, a little more inviting. Blah, blah, blah. Some party, the stranger whispered in her ear. She twisted to see sapphire eyes gleaming at her. Are you from Miss Melisande, however it's pronounced? And then she swang perhaps, and then his smile grew. He asked what her name is, and she says, my name is Wind and Rain and Bone and Dust. My name is a snippet of a half-remembered song. And he's like, then let me call you mine for a dance or two. I'm just trying to see. Okay. She grinned, but someone was suddenly between them, a tall, powerfully built person. Oh, that was Sam. Hold on. Okay. The stranger's friend was behind him in an instant, his bronze eyes fixed on Sam. The masked stranger looked Sam up and down and then held up his hands by mistake.
It's Dorian.
Yes. Because as soon as she started...
Dorian and Kale.
As soon as she started, like, talking about, like, the sapphire eyes and then Kale's eyes, like, she's all about people's eyes. It's always... That's how she, like, describes people. Is
I didn't clue into that, and...
Like, that whole scene just was so much better after, like, I thought about it. I was like, oh my god. That was totally Dorian and Kale. Then I had to go back and read it again.
Yeah, did not clue into that oh my god, what is wrong with my mind? Why do I not pick up this shit?
Listen, I am so proud that I picked up on that because that is not something that my brain, my very uncritical thinking brain, would pick up on. But as soon as she mentioned the sapphire eyes, I was just like, oh my god. Chapter 6. Selena's sparring with her instructor at the keep, but her eyes keep drifting to Sam, who's training shirtless. The familiar pull of attraction is back. Sam asks if they're hitting Donoval's place tonight, and Selena confirms it. Sam mentions he's on guard duty for Lysandra's bidding, so Selena says she'll handle the break-in solo. Just then, Lysandra? I'm saying Lysandra, aren't I? Lysandra and her madam, Clarice, arrive. What a fitting name. Clarice? I don't even know if that's right. That's how I read it. And Lysandra starts laying on the charm with Sam, which totally irks Selena. Lysandra invites Sam for tea, and Selena, trying to act cool, tells him to go ahead, even though he was planning to grab lunch with her. She throws a snide comment at Lysandra and storms off. Later that night, Selena breaks into Donoval's house searching for his study, when suddenly, she's attacked.
Da, da, da. So right into chapter 7, Selena's fighting back against her attacker using the technique she learned from the Mute Master. But 3 more guys jump her, and they manage to knock her unconscious. She wakes up tied up in the sewer beneath Donoval's house. The head guard taunting her, demanding to know why she was trying to break into the study. Selena is not giving him anything. The guards leave her there just as the sewer water starts rushing in.
Yep. Yep.
She struggles against the ropes and manages to use one of the hidden daggers in her suit sleeve. Suit sleeve to cut herself free. But she's still trapped in the sewer, the gates locked tight. She frantically searches for a sewer grate to the street above, gagging from the
Yeah, this whole chapter was very difficult.
Oh god, I hate having a weak stomach. I hate that I can picture and smell what I'm reading. So she's gagging from the stench. She finally finds one and climbs the ladder, but the grate cover won't budge. As the water rises, she screams for help, and Sam, having left Lysandra's party, finds her. He tries to move the grate, but he can't either, and at this point, the water is up to Selena's neck. She begs Sam to take her body back to Terracin if she doesn't make it, and then the water goes over her head.
Yeah. Oh, we're still into some gross territory yet in chapter 8. She gasps awake, and someone is pounding on her chest, and sewer water is just gushing out of her lungs.
Oh, God.
Sam is hovering above her, looking incredibly relieved. She coughs up the rest of the sewer water, then heads back to the keep and proceeds to take a series of hot baths. It's just bath after bath after bath.
Oh god, I'm getting such bad flashbacks to... So, back in the day, I lived in St. John's for a year when I was in grade 4 or 5, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. And the harbor there used to have the sewer run off into the harbor. So we were down by the harbor, we were just out shopping, and a Newfoundland dog fell into the water.
Oh no.
So they got the Newfoundland dog out. He was covered in everything, like toilet paper, shit. There was a tampon on him. Like, the smell, the visual. This chapter was so hard to read, because it brought me back to that, and those smell.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And, like, my stomach is so weak, because, like, I can't change the litter box or pick up my dog's craps outside without gagging.
Oh, no.
Can't do it. We'll be out for a walk with the dogs, and I go to pick it up, and you can just hear me gagging down the road. Like, if I have a kid, I'm screwed.
Yeah, it gets pretty gross. Oh my god.
Sorry, but oof.
Yeah. After all of her hot baths, she soaks herself in liquor to kill any lingering sewer germs. At least that was actually in the book, that like she was disinfecting. And like, because it started with her
Yeah.
hands, and then she was just like, let's fill the bath.
Yeah.
And then she forces herself to eat something and then promptly makes herself throw it all up again just to be sure that her stomach is completely clear. After her fourth bath, Sam comes to her room. She thanks him for saving her life and then tells him the whole story of her time at the Red Desert and how complicated her friendship was with Ansel. They hold hands for a moment, but then they get right down to business, talking about the Donovan mission, and Selena adds that she's planning to take out that head guard who tied her up, too. I love all of her revenge.
So into chapter 9, the day after her sewer ordeal and 2 more baths, Selena goes to Arabin's office and hands him the gold the Mute Master gave her, enough to pay off her debt. She tells Arabin she wants to keep working for him even after she is debt-free, and he is totally on board, even offering to help with the Donovan mission. She and Sam then head out to scout Donoval's place again, figuring out a plan. They'll wait in the sewer for the servant. All this, everything that just happened yesterday, and you're gonna go back down into the sewer?
Yeah. No thanks.
Girl, the PTSD I would have from that? Absolutely not. So yeah, they'll wait in the sewer for the servants to take out the trash and then sneak into the cellar behind them. Sam will set off some explosives in the cellar as a distraction while Selena takes out Donovan and his associate. Sam asks Selena how it feels to be free, and she admits that it's complicated. He then drops a bombshell, and he is planning to leave for Ilway at the end of the month. Selena begs him to stay, but he says that he has to go. And when she asks why, he explains that if he stays, he'll kill Arabin for what he did to her. Every single day she was gone, he thought about it. She asks him why, and he finally confesses that he loves her, and he's been in love with her for years. Arabin knows, which is why he beats Selena in front of Sam. And he says he has to leave because he knows she'll never choose him over Arabin. And Selena's response? She does choose him, and then she kisses him. Just buttering you up for the heartbreak.
Yep. Did a real good job of it. This is all, like, I already know at, like, this point, when she was in speaking, like, to Arabin, like, this was all going over way too easily. Way too easily.
Yeah.
Just leave that there. Chapter 10 starts with Sam and Selena getting pretty hot and heavy. They're having a seriously intense makeout session in the sewer. Because why not? Yep.
I was gonna whistle, but nope,
No.
that sewer nookie does not get a whistle.
No. Yeah, so in the sewer, before heading back to the keep, they go to Selena's room for dinner and some much-needed conversation. Selena's head is spinning, trying to process the fact that Sam's been in love with her for years, while her feelings for him only really developed after Skulls Bay. How? She's worried sick about him getting hurt during the Donovan mission and vows to make anyone who harms him pay. Same. Literally, like I said, this entire book, I was just holding my breath every time Sam was mentioned. Like, I was just, this is where he's going to die. He's going to die now.
Makes for such a fun reading experience.
Oh my God. Yeah. The next day, Selena and Sam are back in the sewer again. Why not? Waiting for the servants to take out the trash. When one finally comes down, Selena shadows her into the cellar, moving silently behind her in the darkness, clad in her black suit. She slips through the house like a ghost, picking the lock to Donoval's study. She searches the study and finds the documents Leifer wanted hidden beneath the floorboard. Turns out these documents aren't just a list of anti-slavery folks. They also contain the locations of safe houses and escape routes for escaped slaves. But just then, she hears voices outside.
So in chapter 11, Selena lurks in the shadows while Donovan tries to make small talk with his associate, who is clearly just itching to get the deal done. Donovan checks under the floorboard for the documents and finds them gone. Just then, Sam sets off an explosion in the sewer, creating a diversion. It's enough for Selena to take out Donovan, but his associate manages to escape. The guard who tied her up earlier enters the room, and Selena wastes no time in stabbing him. With his dying breath, he tells her Donovan loved his country and that she doesn't know anything.
Right away there, red flags were popping. Like, I thought that was such a weird last... I don't know.
Again, my brain, bringing completely irrelevant things, and all I could think of when I read that was, nothing.
Yes, mine too. But still, for that being his last words, and they're like bad guys, I thought that was very. There's something.
So Selena chases the associate out into the street, but he burns some of the documents and then poisons himself before he can get any answers. She grabs the remaining documents, and she's wondering why he was so willing to die for them. She finds Sam, who's been shot in the heart, but the spider silk patch she asked the inventor to put in his suit, not hers, saved his life. He has no idea she was behind it, and they seal it with a kiss.
Oh my god. I mean... should have known she would put it in Sam's.
Yeah.
But
she knows no one's getting close enough to stab her in the heart.
True. Oh, the last chapter. Chapter 12. The next morning, Selena slips the unburnt documents under Arabin's office door. He wastes no time in telling her that she's left a mess. Leifer's not paying up. She didn't get a body to identify Donovan, thanks to that convenient fire. And she didn't recover all the documents. Then, Arabin drops a bomb. Donovan was actually against slavery. Leifer wanted him dead so that she could cut a slave trade deal with the king of Ardalan. So, there is the proof that Arabin is a shithead and was lying to Selena. Selena is obviously furious, but she keeps it together long enough to tell Arabin that she sold Cassida, the Astarian mare, to Leifer, and the money's headed to his vault right now to pay off Sam's debt and to set him free. Arabin thanks her, then casually mentions he used the money that Selena used to buy her own freedom to win Lysandra's bidding and to take her virginity. God, he's so slimy, gross, disgusting. Ugh. And that was the last straw. Selena is just beyond angry. She's furious. She tells Arabin not to come after her or she'll kill him, and then leaves. As she walks out, she runs into Lysandra, who's bragging about her record-breaking bidding price, taunting Selena, and I loved this part. Selena hurls a dagger at her, close enough to her head to make her just shut up. And then she leaves. Then she goes to her new apartment and sends some servants to collect her things, and she heads up to the roof, and Sam joins her. Thanks her for freeing him, mentioning he's already grabbed his stuff and brought it to the apartment. And they're moving in together. They kiss as they watch the sunset. And that's how it ends.
So is this where you wanted to come back to the question that I asked you about, do you know how Sam dies?
No. Okay. So I figure, I don't know if it's that we've read it in Throne of Glass or Crown of Midnight. I don't remember how much information was given in those two books, but It obviously has something to do with Arabin. Like, I think, like, he sets up whatever happens to Sam dying is on Arabin. Because, like, he's not free. He's not getting away free. Like, he's not getting away alive, I should say. And, yeah. So, like, I don't know any of the details. I just know that, and I don't even know if I know it. Like, I'm so groggy with what has been mentioned about it already, but I'm pretty sure it happens in somebody's house or somebody's basement or something, because she goes back there. And is that how she gets caught? Or set up to go there, and then she's just taken to the salt mines?
We'll have to read and find out next week.
I hate my memory. Because at this point, I don't know if it's my, like, theories or if I've read it, so I can't take credit. Oh, but I also had to highlight where, like, their little bit of chat about her picking him. You're a damned idiot. You're a moron and an ass and a damned idiot. He looked like she had hit him, but she went on and grasped both sides of his face because I'd pick you. And then she kisses him.
Oh.
I don't want to read the last book. I'm happy with where their story ends. They're moving in together. They're free. Guess, you know, like, that's it. That's how it ends.
You don't need the trauma.
No, let's just air fire.
So, from what you said at the beginning, is this now your favorite novella?
Yes.
Of Assassin's Blade?
5 stars. This was, like, excellent. I love this. It was just so much action, so much happening, so much conspiring and sneaking around, and just the assassin that we love. And it ends good. Yeah,
Oh god, what are you gonna rate the next one?
0, because I'm not reading it. See, that's my issue with my like, rating it based on my, like, mood at the end. Like, I'm a mood reader and a mood rater. Yeah. So I'm really afraid how this next novella is gonna go.
Speaking of the next novella, I'll give a little details into that. It's our second last episode for the Assassin's Blade. It's the last novella. We will be doing a final review in a different episode. But next week we will be talking about the Assassin and the Empire.
Ooh.
I don't even know if I want to read the summary.
I'm gonna take my headset off. Do.
One final mission could be the beginning or the end. Selena Sardathian is the assassin with a place to call her own, the love of handsome Sam, and best of all, freedom. But Selena won't truly be free until she's far away from her old master, Arabin Hamel. So she and Sam decide to take a last daring assignment that will liberate them forever. And that's how Selena learns that having everything means that everything can be taken away.
Oh my god, just leave Olive alone and just get the fuck out. Like, she always does this. Always. Like, when it comes to, like, not killing somebody when she should. Not just leaving when she should.
Knowing that he dies, I think is having such a bigger impact on me than if it were to happen, like, out of the blue. Yeah. Like, if I didn't know he was gonna die. Like, yeah, I'd be sad, probably cry, but, like, I am just, like, heartbroken reading this.
Yes. Seeing how many things could have gone a different way knowing that
Yeah.
it could have prevented what happens to Sam, I think that's what's killing me the most. Like, I'm like, Selena, like, smarten the fuck up. Appreciate this man while he is here. Don't go rubbing what's his face from the desert in his face. Ilias. Like, just appreciate him.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at her.
Yeah.
Oh,
God,
we'll
my
see.
heart.
We'll see how it goes. Next novella.
Well, until the trauma of the next episode, we bid you farewell.
May the odds be ever in your favor. Sam Cortland. And with that, our coven summoning comes to a close. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
And follow Caffeine and Conjuring on Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date on our journey through Throne of Glass.
Hear the call. Adventure waits beyond the wall. Ilsa and Stacy cast enthrall. Caffeine and conjuring ignite. Witches brew and kingdoms fight. Every book is spellbound night. Join the